Good morning, everybody. How are you? I'm just going to go live on my Facebook group on my timeline. This has been streamed to my group, Balancing Body and Mind. So I'll just press start on that live video. It's great to see you all here today. Thank you very much for joining me. For those of you who don't know who I am, my name's Jodie Siemens. I'm from Taking Perspective. I am a lifestyle accountability and mindset coach, and predominantly I help busy professional women stop running flat out in circles. So this enables busy professional women to gain some professional and private life balance. What I'm going to be doing on a Friday at 10:30 a.m. in the morning is running 15 to 20-minute webinars on various topics, anything from mindset, obviously accountability, values and beliefs, and just different things that will help a professional go through and be the best they can be at what they want to be. So that's the idea there. So again, it's great to see those who could join me live this morning. This will be recorded and available for those who registered to watch later. There is a few links on my Facebook timeline if you want to jump on and get the PowerPoint presentation, and you'll also get that emailed to you if you've registered and haven't been able to jump on live. So that'd be really good. So let's get started. As you can see, I have shared my screen with you all, which is fabulous. So that's working. All right. So what we're going to be doing this week is really focusing on the term accountability itself. And this can have very different meanings depending on who you are, your life's experiences, and also the context of what you're referring your accountability to, whether that be your professional life, as in your work, or your family and friends. So we'll just move on to the second slide. So this week we'll be looking at what accountability means. Oh, sorry. What accountability means to you specifically. Is accountability a skill or a trait? And why is accountability important in one's life? So, sorry if you see me looking away, I've got two screens going, just so I can check on everyone. Hi to everyone who's live on Facebook. So first we'll begin with what accountability means. As you can see on the slide, I have a definition that I've got out of a dictionary. So the definition of accountability is taking or being assigned responsibility for something that you have done or something you are supposed to do. So if you can see from the picture that I've provided, you can see that there's 4 people there and they've all got their own cog, and if they stop turning their individual cog, you'll find that this will have a ripple effect because they are all joined and all parts need to move together in all aspects of life and business. So if you think about it, accountability is an attitude that people have. And when you hold yourself accountable, you tend to go beyond your responsibilities to ensure the success of either a project or, you know, whatever it may be. If you're in an organization or if it's in your private life, you'll go above and beyond. So the term that you often hear people use is, oh, it's not my job. Well, accountability is the opposite to that. Again, it's an attitude based, and it's an understanding that all systems and efforts are interconnected, and the success of any community, whether that be your community within your home or your community within your workplace, relies upon the shared goal and depends upon people working together as a whole. So if you think about it that way, sort of nothing in life can be really carried out to its fullest without some level of accountability. And it's one of the ingredients to all the processes in life that sort of glues the steps together that help make things happen. And you can sort of think about accountability as also something to do with, you know, your own inner critic. And by inner critic, I mean that little voice inside of you that keeps pushing you towards understanding your contribution to something in your life. So we'll move on to the next slide, if I can do that. Yep, there we go. So what does accountability mean to you? Accountability refers to an obligation or willingness to accept responsibility for one's actions. When individuals are accountable, they understand and accept the consequences of their actions for the areas in which they assume responsibility. Now, as you can see from the little picture I've got there, there's just a few words there that people associate with accountability. You may have other words for yourself that associate with accountability. Again, it can be specific to yourself and what context. Your actions have consequences, and I think that's a part of it, whether they are good or bad, and it's your choice to make sure your thoughts, your words, your actions are all working in alignment with each other. And by being in alignment with each other, you tend to be able to manifest what it is that you're trying to achieve. And you get to do that in a positive way in a group or as an individual. The key is taking ownership of the process and being accountable for what you have control of and accepting what you have no control of. I think that's a big thing for people, especially with everything that's happening on the planet at the moment. There's a lot of things that we don't have control of, and I think there's a level of acceptance that needs to be taken there. So I found this funny slide, which I thought was pretty humorous. There were 4 people and an important job to be done. Everybody, anybody, somebody, nobody. Cute little leprechauns there. Nobody knew that everyone was not going to do it. Everybody was sure that somebody would do it. Anybody could have done it. In the end, nobody did it. And I think that's a pretty comical way of explaining when teams or communities aren't within alignment with each other. Everyone's suggesting that someone else is going to do it, and nothing ever gets done, and no one takes a level of accountability / responsibility in regards to the tasks. So I have lost my mouse. There it is. Okay. So the next slide is accountability a skill or a trait? And to a degree, this sort of debate is out on that. But I feel accountability is a self-driven skill, one that makes you feel good, feel accomplished, and without boundaries, because when this skill is developed, you learn to trust yourself. And I think that's a big thing for people, to have that trust within themselves. I think it's, you know, a pretty massive thing that people lack in their own mindset through their own limiting beliefs and, you know, sabotaging themselves in certain ways, believing they're not good enough. So it's got here, Carl Jung, he's passed away, a Swiss psychiatrist, very influential man of his time. He believed that the human psyche had 3 parts. 1, the ego, 2, the personal unconsciousness, and 3, the collective unconsciousness. So today his theories are still very relevant and very much used in psychology and neuro-linguistic programming. So this little quote here from him today is, "I am not what happened to me, I am what I chose to become," which I think is pretty heartfelt message for a lot of people in being able to choose their path and who they want to become in life, basically. Move on to the next slide. I have little bits of things everywhere. Oh, oh, oh. There we go. Okay. So, why is accountability important in one's life? So, as I said earlier, you can see accountability as your inner critic, your little voice that's always seeking solutions to better yourself. It does not allow for complaining, and you have the power to take control over actions you can control. Again, it's all about what it is that's, you know, we do the best we can with the resources we have. So make sure that you're only doing what you need to do that's within your control. So accountability eliminates the time and effort you spend on distracting activities and other unproductive behaviour. When you make yourself and people accountable for their actions, you're effectively teaching yourself them to value their work. When done right, accountability can increase your and your team, family, member skills and confidence. And I think that's a big one. You know, people need to feel that they're confident in what they're doing. Otherwise, they don't do it right, and they're not willing to take on that level of accountability. Accountability helps expand your ability to problem solve and move forward in consistent fashion towards, you know, your desired outcomes. So, you know, you're a business entrepreneur and there's, you know, certain things that you want to achieve within that business. You know, being accountable for your actions is a pretty big deal. So when you couple that with responsibility, you can take full ownership of your life. And this leads you to a place where you can make positive change. You can establish healthier relationships in your workplace and your family environment. So whether it's your business or your career, it will vastly improves with having accountability in place. It builds trust from the foundation for healthier interactions with family members and team members. So it just allows you to help follow through with, you know, tasks and projects that you put in place, and you become more efficient because accountability keeps you on course and helps you fulfill your commitment. So moving on. So basically, sort of in summary, I only did 3 points today because I'm trying to keep the webinars to around about 15 minutes. So in summary for week 1's tips on accountability, ideally there's nothing in life that can't be carried out to its fullest if you do have accountability. Accountability is vital for long-term success and mastering your inner critic. Actions have consequences, again, whether good or bad, they have a ripple effect. Just remember the picture of the people and the cogs turning, and that's just taking ownership of your part of the process. And that is the key, whether that be in family or in business. Accountability is a skill you learn through life's experiences, I believe. You learn what your roles are, you have an understanding of what your responsibilities are, and within that process, you can work in your life, whether professionally again or with family. It goes both ways. It helps build trust and the foundation for healthier interactions, whether at home or in teams, and allows you to fulfill your commitments. So ideally, potentially, that is a wrap for the first one, first webinar, which is pretty exciting. So again, I'd like everyone to thank everyone who joined me here today online, and for those who were able to watch the PowerPoint presentation. If you registered again and weren't able to watch it, something came up, you will receive a copy of the PowerPoint presentation and this in your email. So also, I'll be posting this in my group, and you'll find me, you can also find me on Instagram, as you can see, LinkedIn, Twitter, and I also have YouTube. So you can come on over to my group if you're not already in it, and that's Balancing Body and Mind. This week is week 1 of 8 tips on accountability. Again, the live webinars are Friday mornings at 10:30 a.m. I look forward to you joining me. And just so you know, next week we'll be talking about accountability in the workplace. How does accountability affect your performance, and what causes a lack of accountability? So that's pretty exciting stuff again. So thank you for joining me, and until next time, this is Jodie Siemens from Taking Perspective. Thank you everyone on Facebook.